Hey, I'm Jen. It's been a while. It's good to see you all again. Hopefully I'm back with some pretty good news. Now, just a caveat, this only applies to vaccinated travelers at the moment. So, just to give you the highlights, as of the 7th of January at 4 a.m., all pre-departure tests are scrapped. Alongside that, also at 4 a.m. on the 9th of January, all post-arrival PCR tests will be a thing of the past and will be replaced by a much cheaper lateral flow test. So, what are these new changes? Well, let's start with the 7th of January to get us kicked off. At the moment, it is currently looking like fully vaccinated travellers and those under the age of 18 no longer need to do that pre departure test before hopping on the plane. They do, however, still need to do a PCR test on arrival. However, there is some good news that comes with this too, that you no longer need to self isolate whilst you're waiting for those results. The other thing you need to take into consideration is that you are still required to do a passenger locator form at least 48 hours before arrival into the UK. So please take that into consideration, even if you're just traveling through to another country. Now, the other bit of bigger news comes into play on the 9th of January at 4 a.m. Now, this applies to fully vaccinated travellers and those over the age of 5 who are looking to travel into the UK. This is a bit of a biggie. This basically replaces all PCR tests with a much cheaper lateral flow test. So basically, if you're coming into the UK, you will only need to do a lateral flow test before day 2. Now, as an example of that, say you arrive into the UK on a Friday, that is classified as day 0. So you can either take that test on the Friday, the Saturday, or the Sunday. Now, it's very important to note that obviously, if you do test positive, you still need to do a PCR test and self isolate. Now, for those who haven't had the vaccination, unfortunately, nothing changes as for your travel. So, just to give you a quick overview of what restrictions are in place, at the moment, you will still need to do a pre departure PCR test. You will still need to do a PCR test on days 2 and 8 once you get into the UK, and you will still need to do a passenger locator form. Finally, you will also need to self isolate for 10 days, which can be cut to 5 if you use England's test to release scheme. And finally, we've had a few questions come through, so we wanted just to tackle them here and hopefully answer anything else that people might be curious about. So, the first one is, will things change again in the future? Now, realistically, we have no idea. We know the government is very keen to keep travel open, so hopefully, dependent on variants, we won't see too many changes coming in the near future. But should anything happen, we'll be sure to let you know. Can I get refunds on tests that I have booked? Well, again, this really depends on who you've booked with. So some will offer refunds, some unfortunately are non-refundable. So please check with the provider that you have booked with. They'll be the best people to let you know. Can I use a free NHS lateral flow test for this? And now, unfortunately, the answer is no, and it's probably very unlikely to ever change to being anything other than having to buy one from a provider. So you should be able to find all that information out on the government's website. They'll have a full list of ones that you can pick from. And that was everything for today. Hopefully, we've covered it all. And if you do have any questions, pop them in the comments section below or hit reply. We'll do our very best to help you out. But until next time, we'll see you later.